Hey, we back with another banger video, man. I watched a little bit of this one, but the title alone should tell you that, hey, this is a good one. You feel me? The time my unalived little niece solved her own unaliving. She solved it, but she was unalive. We're gonna get into it. This gotta, hey, this some Haiti stuff. Y'all know what be going on in Haiti, but hey, y'all go grab y'all some water, whatever it is y'all doing, y'all watch my videos. Something preferably healthy, you feel what I'm saying? But hey, I ain't gonna bro, really? I ain't gonna hold y'all for too long, man. Let's get to the video, fam.
I know I'm in my car right now, but I want to talk to you guys how we do not celebrate Halloween like you guys do. In Haiti, we don't celebrate Halloween like you guys do. You guys, like wear costumes, your kids wear costumes, and most of the time they safe, they go around the streets and do trick or treat and all that stuff. In Haiti, it's something completely different. We actually celebrate the dead.
Hmm.
Let me go down memory lines, and I'm just thinking,
Wait, first of all, that's not for just people in Haiti. Halloween celebrates the dead. That's why if you're a Christian and you celebrate Halloween, like, what are you doing? No Christian should celebrate Halloween. Like, I'd stop myself. I don't celebrate Halloween. I pray on Halloween. But yeah.
about my aunt, and that's why I'm in my car and I'm making this video because I don't want to miss a thing. I don't want to go home and then something distract me and I do not tell you guys the story because it's very chilling. It was Halloween day that you know I'm quoting my aunt like with this story because that's hers. That's hers that she told the family, she told me, and how she lost her beautiful 6 year old. I'm gonna refer to her as baby girl. Baby girl is a beautiful little girl who grew up, like in a wonderful area where it's actually protected against gang members, protected against like certain things that like you don't really see normally when you step outside the town. My aunt,
Hmm.
met her husband. They had, a baby girl, and she grew up, up until 6 year old to be a beautiful, wonderful little girl. But there was one factor in the whole family. My aunt husband's brother, who was an outcast from his family, and like my aunt, husband did not want his brother to be living in the street. So he's like, let me take him in. He can live in the
Hmm.
house with us. He can give us a helping hand. And they did just that. But he had a history of always like being aggressive, not just towards like other people, but towards kids as well. And at 6 years old, the baby girl already telling mom, "Hey, listen, my uncle's doing this to me. He's beating me. He's putting his hand on me.
His ass would have been back outside. Because I'm always going to believe my daughter. Why would the six kids do be lying? But come on now. You know what they lying about and what they not lying about, bro. Come on, bro. Yeah, his ass would have been outside. You hear me?
He's touching me, this and that." And then mom did not believe baby girl, and unfortunately, that left baby girl to a very vulnerable situation where she was always exposed to uncle who was doing different things to her, and that led to a very unfortunate event where baby girl actually was poisoned. So now
Hmm.
mom and dad
That's
are actually
sad.
looking around and see who actually did this to baby girl, but they never questioned the uncle because the uncle lives in the house, so they never questioned him. But mom was always suspected the fact that this uncle like had a very like bad history of always being aggressive, especially against children. So she always had it in the back of her mind that he might be involved in poisoning her. But it became a cold case. Like they couldn't find anyone else that they can actually pinpoint to her being unalived, and then they buried her obviously, and they just moved on. That's pretty much what people in Haiti do. You lose a loved ones, there's no justice. You can't, deliver
Mm-mm.
justice on your own. You just move on. All right. So fast forward 5 years later, this is where it gets very interesting. So this is why I'm telling you guys that we don't celebrate Halloween the way that you guys celebrate Halloweens. Halloweens in Haiti is literally we pretty much like We communicate with the dead ones. We like if you
And the reason they do it, because I feel like other countries are less ignorant than our countries, but the reason they go and they do ceremonies on Halloween is because that's when the devil is most active. That's when spirits are more active. So they wait to Halloween in order to do their seances, sacrifices, and all these things. Y'all got me?
practice any witchcraft, any voodoo, whatever, it's more manifested that day. There's like carnival in the streets. There's like rituals doing like happening on like in the streets, in people's house, in people's backyard. It's literally the celebration of dead. You remember in the one video that I told you guys that everybody has like a small cemetery in the backyard. This is where they bury their loved ones. There's not like a main like cemetery that you go to. Some people choose to, but like some people just love to have like the men, the main loved ones actually buried in their backyard. So that's what happened to baby girl. Baby girl was buried in like her backyard, the same backyard that she used to play with different kids. And it's like these beautiful tombstone. They actually like decorated, and then like they put the body in there covered in a white, super white, like cloth sheets, if you want to call it that. And when uncle passed away as well, just because he lived in the house and he was like the uncle, he was buried right next to her. So 5 years later, my aunt decided, you know what, I'm gonna do the same thing that I've been seeing for the past 5 years of people tampering with the dead, raising up their loved ones and ask them questions, whether they're okay or not. So she did exactly that. She brought up a couple of people who actually were helping her with that, and they went to her tombstone and they did their ritual, whatever they had to do. And the way that she described that to me, still like my skin crawls till today. The way that she crawled out of the tombstone, she stood up, and then the cloth is kind of like transparent, but you can see her face. It's not really her face. It's kind of like all like like it's more like a skeleton, pretty much. And then the people who actually helped my aunt to actually make that happen was asking her questions, like, well, kind of like giving her instructions how to communicate with her, like how to ask her questions. And the first question that she asked her, "Are you okay?" And the next instructions, like, she's not gonna be able to communicate with you verbally, but she's gonna be, doing signs, either pointing or shaking her head, yes or no. And she went like this, no, like she's not okay. So my aunt started freaking out. My aunt started, asking her again, like, where are you? And then she just put her head down. She didn't even know where she was. And then the next question that my aunt asked her is, like, what can we do to help you? She put her head down again. And then my aunt was like, who is in there with you? And then that's when she stood up and stared at my aunt in the face. And then she pointed to my like, well, uncle tombstone. Like, she point her finger out to the tombstone. And then that's when the two guys who actually helped her out, my aunt out, to communicate with her, she's like, they were like, is there any relationship between him, like the uncle, and the baby? And then that's when, like my aunt started to tell them, she used to always tell me that my aunt, like her uncle used to touch her and do this to her, blah blah blah. And then they instruct her the very next question: was he the one who actually hurt you? Was he the one who actually unalived you? And she went, and then my aunt again asked her, "Are you in trouble?" She goes, and all she did was literally with the cloth drag the coffin back into the hole into the tombstone. So my aunt was furious, instructed the two men, "I will pay you whatever you want. Destroy this uncle tombstone." And they did exactly that. And they set it on fire. They set the whole thing on fire with his bones in it. And then that night, my aunt went to sleep. Baby girl showed up in her sleep, in her dream, with a beautiful smile on her face. My aunt described her as beautiful, like she was so happy. She had this like shiny bright light behind her as she was like disappearing. And then she just like that. It's kind of like she went to somewhere that she knew she needed to go, and she was safe. This is the story of how my cousin, my little cousin, actually solved her own murder. I know I'm in my car right now.
Dang, that's crazy. Y'all think he telling the truth? But I'm telling you, that hate that voodoo, that Haitian, when they get deep, it gets serious. It get deep like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not finna say he lying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say he lying, but yeah, y'all tell me what y'all think about the video in the comments. That was crazy. That was a crazy one. So she came back up and then told. But my thing is, so you gonna believe her after after she's unalive, but didn't believe her before it happened? Not, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think about the video in the comments, man. See you guys next video. Always remember, be safe out there, kings and queens. Let's chill.